The original founder of this program that gave me and so many this great opportunity, he was a neighbor of mine who only lived 2 blocks away from Dorchester, Mass. Now, I only know that because coming to and from day to day, I'd ask my mom, why are the police always sitting there? Trust me, I wasn't stalking him, I promise you. I eventually found out that was the mayor of Boston, who resides just around the corner from where I lived. Now, although I have yet to get too into politics, I know one thing about this man. He has always been committed to increasing more diversity within the building trades and uplifting tradeswomen. And I can attest to his great work because before I became an insulator for Local 6, I worked in aquatics as a lifeguard, swim instructor, trainer, and swim coach for 14 years with the Boston Centers for Youth and Families. I've seen the dedication and action through his work with the different neighborhoods throughout the city of Boston, a true fighter for all walks of life. And if you know anything about Bostonians, we are loyal to a fault. And when we commit to something that we are truly passionate about, that is just what we do. We commit. Hence our crazy sports fans and tradeswomen. He's a tough advocate for making sure everyone has access to some of the most life-changing opportunities. Lifting up working people is the core of who he is. So without further ado, I need you all to get up out of your seats and help me with the honor of welcoming our brother of the Laborers Union, Local 223, our first Building Trades Labor Secretary, Marty Walsh.
Thank you, Liz. Wow. I was standing in the back, and I was just feeling the energy in the room, and the energy was amazing. And then, Tia, that introduction, thank you so much. That was unbelievable introduction. And I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you, and I said to Tia when I got up, I gave her a hug, I said, I was crying in the back, so I apologize. I am a guy that will cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. I'm going to talk about building pathways in a little bit, but your success and your sisters being here today tells the whole story. I want to thank Sean McGarvey, all the international presidents that are here, Liz Schuler, the AFL-CIO, first woman ever to be the president of AFL-CIO. I want to thank all the leaders that are here today from the local unions all across America. Most of all, I want to thank the incredible women of the building trades. This is truly a historic day in America for the building trades. Before I get into my speech, though, I have to give another group of people a shout out, and those are folks that I work with every single day at the Department of Labor, and I want to thank them. And we have Wendy from the Women's Bureau and a whole bunch of people from our Women's Bureau that are here. Jenny and our folks from OFCCP are here today. We have Wage and Hour here today. We have OSHA here today. We have a whole bunch of different people. I want to thank them all. These are the folks that protect your rights on the job and fight for you on the job every single day. So thank you to the folks at the Department of Labor. And what we're seeing here today, this meeting, this gathering, is one of the biggest meetings ever of tradeswomen in the world. That by itself is telling you something. It tells you that union tradeswomen are here to stay. It tells you that our union tradeswomen are our future. And it tells you that today and tomorrow and forever, a woman's place is in her union. And I think the most important people in this room today are the retirees who are here today. You are trailblazers who knock down doors and smash glass ceilings, and I want to recognize all of you today, and we want to recognize you today for the incredible work you've done in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and even early 2000s. Thank you for the amazing work that you've done. I also want to recognize all the journeywomen that are here today. I want to recognize all the apprentices. Where are our apprentices? I want to hear you. I want to thank the organizing and training directors that are here today, all of our training directors. I want to thank all the union trade sisters in the union states from all around the world that are here today. And I'm not forgetting you, Canada. And let's not forget all the great workers right here at Paris and Las Vegas who made this meeting possible, who set this room up, clean our rooms, all the amazing work they do. They're all union too. It is amazing. You have no idea what this feeling is for me here, standing here today in front of all of you, in this room, and this conference, and what's happening in this country. I know how hard so many people worked to get here, and it's amazing. I want to tell you a story behind Building Pathways. The program that Tia talked about. In 2011, I had the great honor of running the building trades in Boston. The Obama administration and Congress passed an infrastructure law, investment in public housing, retrofitting public housing in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And I ran the trade, so I sat down and I was talking to the business managers at the time. We put together a plan for a pre-apprentice program. It was designed to help women and people of color get good access into the building trades in the city of Boston and surrounding areas, and helping not just revitalize their family's life, but revitalize our communities. The program started small. We posted flyers, and I want to give a shout out to Brian Doherty, who was my first director of Building Pathways in the city of Boston. We literally posted flyers in public housing centers and all across the city. We reached out to churches and community groups. That first year, we graduated 30 graduates. And I remember talking to them, the first class that graduated. And I said, you know, what you do with this is really important because it's going to set a path forward for so many other folks to get into the building trades, so many other women to get in the building trades. People in our neighborhood saw women and men change their lives with good union jobs. We saw people literally change their lives. And the program grew every single year. And then I got elected mayor of Boston, and when I was the mayor of Boston, we created another program called Operation Exit, again with the building trades. It was a pre-apprentice program for people who have been caught up in the streets and in crime and the justice system. They were people who just wanted to do the right thing. They needed an opportunity. They needed a stable job, quite honestly. And now through these programs together, hundreds of people have changed their life, and the number is 620 women and people of color, and half of the graduates are women that are in the trades today because we had a meeting at a union hall to talk about opening our doors and allowing pathways in. Of these women, 60% are women of color. And that's important because gender equity and racial justice is helping us move forward together. And that's what progress looks like when we sit down and make a conscious decision on how to make an opportunity for people to change their life. But we can't sit back. That's not enough. We need to do more in our communities. We need more progress in every community all across America. As of last month, there were 377,000 women working in construction jobs across America. That's a lot of skilled workers. But it's only 4.4% of all construction jobs. But it's up from 4.1 this time last year, and it's about progress, about moving forward. And we know it's still not enough. Sean knows it's still not enough. We know that there's more to do. We have more to do. And we know that we have to do better and we have to work harder. As Secretary of Labor, I was appointed by President Biden to be Secretary of Labor. And he talked to me about making sure, how do we create pathways? And he said, you know, when we create these pathways, we pass all this great legislation, I know the building trades are going to be there for me. And the building trades and all of us are going to do something about it. We're not the only industry, by the way, that should be doing this. Other industries in America should be doing this, manufacturing and other places. But we're focused on our own house right now, and we're going to do more. Everywhere I travel across the country, I visit great programs that are bringing more women into the trades. From Oregon tradeswomen to Chicago women in the trades, to non-traditional employment for women in New York City. In the Department of Labor, we support these kinds of programs and fundings with partnership. If I didn't mention your program, I'm sorry. I didn't have enough time on the speech. Our Employment and Training Administration is working hard to scale up efforts all across our country. We're committed to making sure women and people of color and all workers have real access to pre-apprenticeship programs, apprenticeship programs, and good union jobs. We have a way to go to get to full equity in the United States, but we're going to keep pushing because you have an administration in Washington that cares and believes, and we need to make sure we continue to move forward and continue to make those opportunities. And we know that we can do it. Not just in this industry, but every industry, because you in this room are living proof of that. And I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. The President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States has your back. And as Labor Secretary, I will always have your back. And after I'm done talking, the Commerce Secretary is going to be here too, and she has your back. And this entire administration stands with you. I want you to understand at this moment in time, we have a historic opportunity right now. This president's economic plan is creating good jobs at a rate that we've never seen in the country ever before. He calls it building an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. And that's exactly what we're doing, lifting people up that don't have that opportunity and make sure the people in the middle class continue to move out. Under this president's leadership, we've added 10 million jobs to our economy. When people tell you the economy's bad, let me tell you how bad it is. 10 million people that weren't working on the day President Biden took office is working today. Our unemployment is 3.5%, the 50-year low. The new data this week shows that our economy is growing. Workers' incomes are growing, which is good. Some people say workers shouldn't get more money, but workers deserve more money. We're making progress in fighting the global inflation. Construction jobs are booming, and that's all thanks to the president's infrastructure law and everything that this president is doing for us and for working people all across America. We're bringing manufacturing back to the United States, and that's because this president passed the bill, the CHIPS and Science Act. We're bringing clean energy jobs to the United States. We're tackling inflation and reducing the deficit, and we are building the future America deserves and needs moving forward. And you know what? We're building it with good union jobs, filled more and more by great union tradeswomen all across our country. I want to share some of the details of how we're doing this. It's important to understand the difference that leadership makes and the difference that who you vote for makes. At the Department of Labor, we have an office called the Women's Bureau, as I already gave it a shout out. It's the only agency in the massive federal government that is dedicated towards working women. Our director, Wendy Chung-Hoon, is here, and she was here this weekend. I think she met every single person. She took a selfie with everyone in this room today. She's speaking tomorrow morning about the progress that we are making and the new steps that we are taking. We have another agency called, I gave them a shout out in the beginning, but the Office of Federal Compliance, Contract Compliance Program. They're making sure that any company doing business with the federal government follows the laws against discrimination and advances equal opportunities. Director Jenny Yang is also here leading a workshop. In this, the Biden-Harris administration's Labor Department, we're expanding all of this work. And it's more than that. We are working across the federal government. You're going to hear today from Commerce Secretary and our friend, Secretary Gina Raimondo, former governor of Rhode Island. Historically, the Labor Secretary and the Commerce Secretary are not supposed to talk to each other on different tracks because business is supposed to be over here and labor's over here. But that's not the case in this administration. Commerce works to grow jobs and labor looks out for those workers too, and we're going to continue to work together and we're going to continue to fight together. Secretary Raimondo and I have signed an agreement between our departments. This has never been done before. It's a commitment that says we will work together to create not just jobs, not just any jobs, but good jobs at union access. We will work together to make sure women and workers of color and everyone who has been shut out in the past is able to get these jobs, and not just access these jobs, but get these jobs. To put this agreement into action, we established a set of good jobs principles. We're advancing these goals through historic investments that this administration's making. Let me just say one other thing. The last administration would never have somebody stand on a stage in front of tradeswomen and talk like this, because they didn't believe in supporting workers' rights. They didn't believe in pensions. They didn't believe in any of that stuff. All of these investments that we're making are making a difference in American work for American workers. And I'm going to go there in a minute. The teleprompter just went out, so I just completely lost my place. So I was going to ad-lib, and if I ad-lib, I'd be here for 2 hours. But we're putting money out into communities, and we say these jobs need to pay good wages with good benefits. These jobs need to make sure every worker has the right to join a union. These jobs need to go to women and men and people of all races who reflect communities. So far, our collaboration has led to more than $42 billion of grant funding with this language attached. And we're just getting started. When you go to your union meetings, we're going to talk about all this. We are forging similar partnerships with the Department of Transportation, Energy, and Education. And we're driving good union jobs and access for women into the heart of our economy. I don't have to tell you the benefit of a union job for women, but here's the data. If a woman is in a union, 23% higher wages. It closes the wage gap between men and women by 40%. It's even greater for Black and Latino women, for that wage gap that's broken that we read about all the time. And it's why more people want to join the union today than any time in the last 50 years. But it's more than the numbers. It's about the health care plan for you and your family. It's about the ability to take time off when somebody's sick. No, you'll have a pension when you retire. It's a community of people who care about you and fight for you together when we stand together. It's respect for you as a worker and a provider as a woman. And it's pride in your skills and your work. I want to tell you what that pride means to me. My father and mother came from Ireland. I know there's some immigrants in this room. My parents came, like many immigrants in this room, or your family, they didn't have anything. But my father had the chance to join Labor's Local 223 in Boston. And that changed my immigrant family's life. When I was a little kid, I used to go to the Union Hall with my uncle, and I'd see that number 223 on the wall. And they didn't really have it on hot hats at the time, but I'd see it on the wall. And I knew that number represented something. I didn't know everything it stood for, but I knew it stood for something. As I got older, I knew it stood for pride and for working people. And I was determined to fight for those numbers and to fight for working people and open doors for opportunities for women in every community, because my union laid that foundation for me. If you're a mother, if you're an aunt, if you're a sister, when the kids in your life see you put your hard hat on and pick your tools up, they feel that same pride in you. And that's another reason why you play such a critical role in our country right now. You are not only an essential worker, you are role models and ambassadors. And I said that to the first Building Pathways program. I said, you're trailblazers. Go out and use your voice, share your knowledge, stand up proud, kick down doors, break glass ceilings for the next generation of women that are following you. Too many young people in our country and too many young women still don't know what a union job is. They don't know what collective bargaining does. They don't know what a pension and annuity is. They don't know what their rights they have on the job site. Too many girls don't know. They could have a career in the trades. They could be what they want to do and what they love to do. And they could earn a good living. But now, they're going to know because they have role models in this room. They have each and every one of you in this room. And you are the best ambassadors in the industry that we've ever had for any worker, man or woman. You have proven that women can do any job they want in this country or in this world. And they can't just do it well. They can do it better. You can do it better than any man if you get a fair opportunity. All of you have fought to get here today. And my message to you is never stop fighting. Keep standing proud. Keep building our country's future. Keep changing the world. And I always stand with you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the labor movement. God bless the United States of America.